Hello, welcome to By Lore and Lamplight, Davin, storyteller and magician. Tonight's story is thousands of years old, originally written in Sanskrit in the Mahabharata. It's called the Tale of Shikhandi. It goes like this. In an age when stars whispered to those who'd listen, and gods walked unseen among mortals, born of the dusty plains of ancient Bharata where destinies were cut short. And rewoven like golden thread on the loom of the cosmos. In the kingdom of Panchala, a child was born to the queen, and there was great joy for all except the king. You see, he was filled with confusion and fear. The child had been born a girl, but he'd had dreams of prophecy that foretold of a son and a prince that would lead an army to a mighty destiny. The child, Shikhandi was her name, was not like most children. There always seemed to be a storm raging in her limbs, and there was steel in her voice. She always refused the gowns and garlands of girlhood, and instead chose the sword, the shield, and the path of the warrior. Her eyes twinkled with the certainty of those who know, I am not what they call me. I am not daughter, I am a son. And so it was the queen and all her handmaids began to tell the lie until it became truth. The child is a boy. And so it was, Shikhandi the princess became Shikhandi the prince, not from accident of birth, but by the choice of destiny. The years passed, and Shikhandi grew with strength and swiftness. He became a resolute leader of men. He adapted well to his role, and he was much beloved by his kinsmen. But one day he was married to a princess from a neighboring kingdom, and upon their wedding night, when the truth of his birth came into the light, there was outrage. The king of the neighboring kingdom vowed vengeance for the insult to his daughter, and the people of Panchala found themselves on the brink of war. Shikhandi retreated deep into the forest, full of sorrow, not for shame, but for the danger his truth had placed upon his people. And there he cried out, and in the shadow of the trees, something answered. A yaksha, a spirit of nature and the wild, not fully male or fully female, but somehow more complete and much older. I know your sorrow, said the yaksha, and your truth. I have been nothing else, said Shikhandi. Though I was born in the wrong form, the flame of my heart has never lied. Help me become what I truly am. The yaksha nodded. I will lend you half of what I am, and you will become a man not in pretense but in truth. So go forth, fulfill your destiny, and when the wheel turns, return to me what was borrowed. And with a wave of its hands, the transformation began. And when it was over, Shikhandi stood tall and proud, in a form that now matched the flame of his soul, and the sword in his hand matched perfectly with the rhythm of his breath. He returned to the palace, and there he and the people of Panchala settled peacefully and reconciled with their neighbors. Many years later, however, when the great war of the Kudak Sutra erupted, and the noble Pandavas faced off against the mighty Kauravas, Shikhandi did lead his armies into war. Into that great battle, as it raged, one man stood above all others, the demigod Bhishma, grandfather to kings and peerless in battle, and Shikhandi's father's oldest rival. You see, Bhishma had used his magics to build his honor around him like a mighty fortress, protecting him and sealing him inside it. To do so, he had to make many vows, one of which was a vow to never raise arms against a woman or a girl, even as the world burned around him. And so on that fateful day, Bhishma came face to face with Shikhandi, and he refused to see the man who stood before him and saw only the shadow of the girl Shikhandi had once been. And when he saw that, he lowered his sword and his shield. And that is when fate, which bows to no one's vows, struck. Arjuna, mightiest of archers, had ridden into battle next to Shikhandi. And when he saw Bhishma lower his sword and shield, he drew back his bow and fired, striking Bhishma and killing him. And so it was, a mighty warrior died, not to superior skill at arms or greater strength, but to the strange ironies of the universe. And with the death of Bhishma, the enemies soon routed and surrendered. And this is how Shikhandi, born in one form, forged into another, became a man and became a warrior, and changed the course of an epic. Not by denying his past, but by walking through it, by holding both shadow and flame. Some say the gods turned their gaze that day, others that they looked on and nodded. I say this: a soul knows what it is, and sometimes in the great machinery of fate, a soul that is true can shape